A very good evening to you and welcome to this edition of Roundtable Talk on G-Think TV. My name is Frans, Molefe, Modise. Tonight we are joined by our resident political analyst, Mr. Mpho Maake, and we are in conversations about the state of the ANC and its impact on the South African society. Very good evening to you and welcome, sir.
Good evening. Good evening to the viewers. Hello, and Mr. Molefe.
And compliments of the new season.
Same to you.
Yeah. Now, Mr. Maake, if you could just take us through the. In fact, let's start by saying why, as the South African society, particularly ordinary people on the ground, why is it important that we should reflect on the state of the ANC?
The state of the ANC is very, very important. It's very crucial as it is the ruling party. The ruling party, whenever they cough or they sneeze, the masses or the state entirely, the country as a whole, catches cold. Even the neighbors, even those who are dependent on the state by all means, others through grants, others through any form of support. I hear that even in Nigeria and other parts of Africa, where South Africa provides services through ESCOM, external units, they are being affected by issues that are happening in South Africa regarding ESCOM and other issues. So it's very important.
Yeah. How does it reach that far? How does it impact on those countries?
The state of South Africa, if you look at South Africa is no longer a pariah. If you remember before apartheid, South Africa was a pariah or an isolated state that was not really taken too serious, except that there was this anti-apartheid activism against that previous government. But now, it is a very much influential player on the international stage. Remember, through AU, through other regional bodies, you will find that presidents of this country are normally called outside to be envoys. Since former President Nelson Mandela, they would go to be envoys to intervene in peace talks in Burundi. Former President Mbeki did it. President Ramaphosa was sent in Zimbabwe, in Cabo Delgado issues in Mozambique. So you can see that South Africa, not only in Africa, but throughout the world, South Africa is a very, very much influential player on the world stage in terms of politics. UN as well, we were once touted to be a non-permanent member in the Security Council, because you can see that South Africa is a very, very much influential, and it is also a gateway. Remember during COVID, when this issue of the new step or the new variant that has hit the world, when South African scientists started to publish it, announce it that no, there is this another Omicron corona virus. It was a crisis that hit the whole world. Whereas others decided to isolate South Africans, no travel, we don't want South Africans. But later on it was discovered that no, Omicron is actually almost throughout the world. It's just that South Africa decided to speak first. So it can show you in terms of the health, in terms of the economics, in terms of the security. Remember during the January 8th, President Ramaphosa on an ANC platform addressed the issue of Cuban crisis, the issue of Cabo Delgado. Now you have another issue of the coup d'etat in Burkina Faso. And I can almost certainly tell you, diplomatic channels are ringing, are flowing. They are asking South Africa, what's your position? So it's a very influential global player.
Now coming back, I know we digressed a little bit, but coming back to the actual state of the ANC and its impact on the society.
The African National Congress.
The question I wanted to pose in this regard was that do you think that the leadership and the membership of the ANC accept that they are in totality ANC in its entirety? Do you think that its leadership and membership accepts that they are to blame for the state of the ANC and by extension the state of the country?
I can tell you that the way I read it, there are two things. There's a disjuncture. You know, there's a certain lull, there's a certain gap between the intellectuals in the ANC and their members, even in branches. And now it cascades down to the general public. As the leader of society, people will come in with terms like the disciplined forces of the left, you know, and the leader of society. But if you look at it now, what probably, I might say, what Lindiwe Sisulu thinks as a minister and as a member of NEC, and longest serving member of the ANC, even in government, does not augur the same to the ordinary branch member or a card-carrying member of the African National Congress. Worse, to the members on the ground who are not members of the ANC.
What brings about this disjuncture between the...
It is an intellectualized format of the struggle. I think what has happened to most liberation movements, that is why either that party will be removed from power through votes by the masses, or it will be rejected through popular uprisings by the masses. Why? They intellectualize their approach. They intellectualize their role in society. People are not interested in our knowledge of Karl Marx and Lenin and Trotsky. No, they are more interested in bread and butter issues. If the ANC wants to save itself, it should look on what the people want. For example, people want illegal immigrants to go. People want undocumented migrants to go. But the government, being a diplomatic, the ANC issue of its affinity with liberation movements, with other African governments, and it wants to be seen as the tower of intellectualism in Africa. So you end up intellectualizing even issues on the ground. Basically, basic issues that talks about bread and butter. If you allow your family, your children's uncles, kids and relatives, aunts, to come and stay in your own house, and the house is small, it's a crisis. It is unmanageable. Will you intellectualize and tell those children and your wife about, you know, the grand issue of being ancestrally trying to respond to the ancestors? Ancestors are not here. You are here with your kids. So in short, I'm just trying to say the issue that created the gap is the issue of intellectualizing everything. The ANC, instead of dealing with issues, they want to intellectualize. For example, those who have been implicated in state capture, should they be charged, or should there be a commission of inquiry? Should they be charged simply? Should there be investigation by the security forces of the country, or should there be a special integrity committee, a special task team to check whether if this person his or her integrity is correct or not? So these things are confusing the masses. So that is why it also creates this disjuncture between the leaders who are perceived as the better animals, you know. Some are better than others, you know, animal farm theory, you know. So the issue is this gap, this lull was created by the fact that they see themselves as the leadership, as the ivory towers above society. You know, they live, like Karl Marx said, the superstructure up there. You know, they do not want to see themselves at the level of the masses, and that is the greatest mistake that most liberation movements, former liberation movements, have created. And believe you me, Mr. Modise, they pay the high price for that.
You see, when you talk of the intellectualization of certain challenges that are being which are lived experience by the society, one of the things that the ANC prides itself with, or one of the virtues that it prides itself with, is the ability to self-correct. Can it self-correct in this instance?
This is
and what needs to be done?
That's a very, very important question. The road to December right now. We are still in January. This question ties very well with the road to December. In the January 8 statement, the ANC and the country's president, Ramaphosa, spoke about the role of branches.
Yeah.
You know, that they must support what? Renewal
Yeah.
program. But renewal is seen by another faction, the RT faction, as his own baby.
Yeah.
That he is using to hound out, you know, to take out other members who don't agree with him.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sort of to purge, you know.
Yeah.
But the issue is, if we can look at whether if the party can self-correct or not. In other countries, this is actually happening. In Mozambique, former president's children are being taken to court processes. They are being fired from the positions they were occupying because of corruption. Even I think in Angola, former President Dos Santos' daughter, Isabel, she was touted as the richest woman in Africa, businesswoman. She has been removed from the position in that oiling company. She's facing investigations. The brother also was expelled, you know, and you know, Gwebuza as well, you know. His son is facing a jail term, you know. So how do you self correct? You know, if as South Africans can allow law enforcement forces, you have NPA, you have the Hawks, you have SIU, you have the SAPS, you know, why can't they be allowed to do their work? And let the ANC self-correct itself as a party internally. If the Integrity Commission deals with ANC members inside ANC structures, but it does not affect me and you, it does not affect the public, it does not affect the purse of the public as well, or the judiciary. Today you have Lindy Sisulu. Lindy Sisulu wrote an article. Many people are viewing it as an innocent thought process. But the fact of the matter, it is a factional tactic, strategy to halt processes. You have the Zondo Commission that has handed the report to the president, state capture report. Instead of acting on the state capture report as a matter of self-correction, there's a letter that comes. And the letter that comes seeks to say attacks the judiciary and its integrity. And who should protect and represent judiciary? Is the head of the judiciary. Yes, he's now on an acting capacity because we don't have a chief justice. Mpho has just ducked out. Yes, I'm saying ducked out. No, he left before under a cloud because they were not agreeing on issues of the state capture, whether if Jacob Zuma should appear or not.
But that is speculative.
It's fine, but then it is on record. It is on public domain.
But I mean, we are told that he had to go to a special leave, a prolonged leave, because it is mandatory.
No doubt about that. But we suspect the timing of taking the leave, as much as we suspect the timing of penning that letter. And that article by Lindiwe Sisulu.
Yes.
So this is all
just on the Mr. Maake. Sorry to disturb your thought process. Let's come back to the issue of the Lindiwe letter and that the matter of the disjuncture between the leadership and the membership. Now you have the larger membership of the ANC, you know, begging the your Lindiwe's you'll remember your July uprising, whatever it is, insurrection or
failed insurrection,
failed insurrection or whatever it is perceived to be. You'll at all these material times you'll find the membership, the broader membership of the ANC, you know, supporting those that are seen to be or seem to be derailing the processes of self-correction. What does it say about the general membership of the ANC?
Maybe
and the maturity of our South African society politically.
Broadly, no, that is very much important. You see, that issue of intellectualization or being an ivory tower, you look at issues like what makes a leader popular. Today, Mr. Molefe Modise, you have people who are supporters of a person.
Yes.
Members who are supporters of another member.
Yes.
People forget that there is a party. There is African National Congress as a party, as a structure that has offices, that has people as its human resource.
Yes.
Leaders as the representative of that larger and broader movement.
Yes.
Now they support, for example, President Jacob Zuma against President Mbeki. They supported Nelson Mandela before.
Yes.
You know, if you can remember, this thing started with Mandela, I'll be honest with you. By the time Nelson Mandela was not the president of the ANC, it was Oliver Tambo.
Yes.
But who was more popularized? Nelson Mandela was more popular.
But it was intentional.
It's fine, but it is now hitting back because now the popularity of certain individuals is now derailing self-correction processes. People don't want you to touch my beloved somebody, whether that person has done wrong or not. So Cyril Ramaphosa, in all fairness, if you look at it, he's not a popular president of the ANC. No, you wonder how he won actually at Nasrec, because it was on a marginal, you know, very, very marginal. And stories came of buying votes, stories came of campaign money that was not supposed to have came up, you know. But to answer you, clearly, people have now become members of members. They are not members of a party. Or they do not understand the policies and the principles, including the constitution of a particular party. How do you ban a t-shirt of your president? How do you ban a t-shirt of your deputy president? You know, how do you chase out another member of the NEC or of a party in a forum that is supposed to be a party platform? This person has every right to be there, but you boo the person. You would remember what happened in KZN.
Yes.
Every time when Jacob Zuma's issue was mentioned in those gatherings, even if he was not there, people like Sihle Zikalala have learned that you don't touch Jacob Zuma. You say something there, whether if it's right or wrong, but you touch that name, the people will deal with you. You touched issue of a so-called failed July insurrection in 2021. That really showed you that people were not interested to know whether is it proper for former president to go to court so that he can be found guilty or innocent. They just did not want him to go there. So that is an issue. Who's really hampering processes? I can tell you is the top leadership that are too much ideologues, people that believe that they are bigger than society, people that believe that we liberated you, but we did not liberate you for yourselves. We liberated you for ourselves. And I like what Lindiwe Sisulu said. She coined a term that is very interesting, that they are the political brokers, you know, party political brokers. She clearly said what is their role. So their role is to broker politics. She says we dine even with those that we are not supposed to dine with. We are a class, you know, a ruling class, a ruling elite.
A ruling elite.
That toast champagne with the capitalist, with the oppressor. But you can now ask yourself, then why is Ramaphosa the only one who's suffering for that? Why didn't she say all of us actually we attack Cyril Ramaphosa as an individual, that he's a darling of capital, whereas we know that at night we sit on the very same dinner table with capital. Otherwise, some of us have been able to read where we were able to connect the dots to see that she's actually saying that we, the political bureau, we, the political bosses, we are selling out. That is what she was actually saying.
Now, based on what the input that you just deposited, can the South African society continue to trust the ANC as a custodian of democracy and with its future?
Local government elections 2021. Those August elections that other people did not want that they should happen. Now we can see why some people tried all their level best. They even went to court to try to stop this process. I think those people had read between the lines that no, now we have reached a cul-de-sac. South Africa has reached a point whereby the role of liberation movements has come to an end. I would clearly tell you that this is the fall of the ANC. I think South Africa has reached the stage where we will experience the fall of the longest serving liberation movement in Africa, because the ANC internally it is eating itself away. If you remember, one of the presidents said the only enemy against the ANC is the ANC, or the ANC is the enemy against itself, and it is happening. Yes, there has been a lot of splits, there has been a lot of breakaways, the most recent one by Julius Malema, but those were nothing, because they did not include the masses on the ground. The masses expressed their distaste, their displeasure, their disapproval of the ANC by voting opposition parties, by making sure that key metros, local government is not administered by the African National Congress anymore. What does that tell you? That tells you that 2024 national election will be more disastrous. And then as the ANC continue fighting against one another, refusing to self-correct, supporting this individual against this individual, instead of supporting policies and principles of a party that they agree upon in their conferences, then disaster looms. I foresee a situation where people have already said, to answer you, we do not trust you. We do not trust ANC. All we want is a new person, all we want is a new party or a new arrangement. But the issue is, will the coalitions really hold? You have Joburg now. It is in turmoil.
In fact, that was going to be my next question. That is actually South Africa ready for the post-ANC kind of situation?
You and me might be in trouble for actually coming up with a stance like this, a fall of the ANC, there's a post-ANC South Africa. Yes, nobody thought that there is a post-Jacob Zuma ANC. I don't know how, but some people did believe that until Jesus come, the ANC will rule. So would you say there is Jesus now in all metros and all municipals that are not controlled by the ANC? Then that means in 2016 Jesus came in some of the areas and now he's here in Tshwane. We are seeing Jesus now. But on a more serious note, it's very clear that we need to read history for what it is. No one can reinvent the wheel. History moves forward. We look at it backwards, but it moves forward. It will never repeat itself. It's not easy. Lightning cannot strike at the same place more than thrice, or more than twice. So I foresee a situation where South Africa is unprepared and ready to enter into a post-ANC era. But whether you are ready or not, it is happening.
And what would be the repercussions for that unreadiness?
Chaos. We have seen from last year, July, we have seen that when former President Jacob Zuma was supposed to be handed over or hand himself over, he denied, he refused initially, and many people tried to defend and protect him. But at the end of the day, he was arrested eventually. Chaos, things broke out, looting happened, 300 plus people died, innocent people, properties were destroyed, people lost valuable property. Early this year, we were greeted. This year, you said compliments. I'm not sure if South Africa can say compliments when National Assembly was gutted with fire. When we are looking at the National Assembly, another national key point, Constitutional Hill, broken into. Now we are speaking about waterproof airbase. So until when? That shows that there is this anger, but this anger is not with everyone. This anger is with certain people who do not probably want to accept change, who do not want to admit that no, we are no longer in charge. If Ramaphosa and those that support him in the ANC, if they can hold it together and he gets the second term, my question is, it looks like South Africa is not, security-wise, we are not strong, Mr. Molefe. If national key points can be sabotaged, it means there is an internal saboteur inside. The issue of firing NEC met in few days' time,
Yeah.
and they resolved that no, you must act.
Yeah.
You are the president. You are her boss.
Yeah.
You must act and do not waste time.
Yes.
The question is, will he be like Chakwera in Malawi and fire him? Because that man fired his entire cabinet for corruption allegations. They were not proven,
Yeah.
but he fired them.
Yeah.
You know, so you ask yourself, is President Ramaphosa having some cut under his sleeve that he always wishes to use, but in a manner that he's not seen as a dictator or as a person who's paging others?
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
my guess is he will wait until December.
Mm.
If he's re-elected in December, then I suspect that will be the time then he will act decisively on many other issues. It looks like his mandate has expired, and that is why probably he's not able to do certain things that he would have wanted to do. If you ask me, cabinet reshuffle was due already by the time of July insurrection. He should have reshuffled cabinet. He should have, and seriously, not what he did. What he did was just to shift them around. People like Lindiwe Sisulu, he should have dealt with at that time. Fire them, not even give them other positions, you know. So, but anyway, that is an ANC matter. You and me are talking about the country, whether if ANC's state as it is right now, can we say that South Africans understand it? What can they read from this? I can tell you, disaster, more chaos, instability, more fire, and I don't know. So help us God.
Yeah. Yeah. On that note, on a very somber mode, that's where we'd end it with our political analyst, Mr. Mpho Maake, and thank you very much. Do join us for our follow-up part 2 discussion, where we'll go deeper into the matters of the Constitution and the ANC, where we ask the question, has the ANC failed to use the Constitution as an instrument for change? On that note, thank you very much, and do not forget to subscribe and to follow us on Facebook and to subscribe on our YouTube channel. I'm Frans Molefe Modise, and this is Roundtable Discussion on G3 TV.